with us. So
Yeah,
no matter if
we're
you
going to
like it
have
or
your
not.
code and your ticker on this network, and you can't stop it from being traded.
Right.
And so there's a derivative, and then if there's liquidity bonding the prices together, so if, let's say you have Chainlink on Ethereum, and then after launch, price bounces around a while, but I bet that over time that these prices will move similarly.
Right.
Right. I think that the Link ticker on Pulsechain is likely to move similarly to the Link ticker on Ethereum.
Right. Just because of the bridge, right? And
Well, because they're bonded by the liquidity.
Right.
And then it's the same code with the same ticker. Now, do you want to pay $100 or $300 to trade it on Ethereum, or do you want to pay a penny to trade it over here? And we already know this answer because they're doing it on other networks as well.
Yeah.
People do trading on alternate networks, and then we're the one that you don't like. Your coins are already here. You don't even have to bridge over.
Right.
You've already got your free coins here. You can already access them by changing one setting in your MetaMask. It's awesome.
Dude, it sounds
well.
it sounds pretty awesome.
Well, that's the trick.
Already,
that's the magic. Is you launch this whole network with all these new coins. How do you get those new coins to be valuable?
Right.
But by not letting anyone ever stop the trading, by having the same tickers, and by giving people a reason to back the value of the things they got free,
right?
By rewarding them with a yield farming token. It's like a giant vampire attack, basically. It's a giant vampire attack.
Hey everybody, woohoo! It's a giant vampire attack. We love those. So here we go. Pulsechain market update today. The return of Soymmi. Yeah, I thought it'd be a bit of a fun title. And so we're going to look at that chart pumped a bit earlier today. And we'll check out how it's getting on at the moment. On the back of all, of course, we covered all the ones from Axis and Randy Alasky and, of course, Crispy Man yesterday. And, of course, now we see the Soymmi one, which was... we know that Soymmi wasn't too keen about, and of course they moved on from that, didn't they? So we're going to look at all that, see how that's going. I said to somebody else, I said, "Oh, it's going to come back. You watch the Soymmi, it's going to come back." That's crypto for you, right? As long as there's liquidity and a bit of interest, it will pump back. So let's have a look and see who's in the house there. We've got Lies Beneath. Hello, how are you today? Very good. We got Hex and PLX Hex Center for the win, 100%. That is the golden crypto strategy of this channel. And obviously you need some patience there, time in the market. But definitely that is the golden crypto. We got Sandy Beach in the house there. Where's Sandy Beach? I think Sandy Beach is there somewhere. Where is Sandy? I can't see Sandy. We got day 10 of the ab challenge from Sandy. And there's the link. So don't forget to go follow Sandy and give her a follow. Leave a comment and share her channel. She's doing amazing stuff for the health and fitness. Day 10 of the ab challenge, so definitely get into that. And of course, a big hi from Sandy there as well. We got Ramon in the house there. What's up, family? Good to see you, Ramon. Let's go. Absolutely. Top of the morning from Brennan, our TA expert in the house. Top of the morning, folks. Good to see you, Brennan. And who else is there? Tin Top as well. Tinsa! What's up? Hey, Tin Top, good to see you. A bit of craziness every time Tin Top gets in the chat, that's for sure. I really do like that little clip there at the beginning there of Hexo and Richard Hart about basically the basics of Pulsechain, really, the copies of the fork. And of course, if you guys are new to Pulsechain, it is a full system stake copy of Ethereum on the 10th of May last year. And we're coming up to the end of the first year. We're in the last month. So it's exciting times. And of course, if you did have assets at that time on Ethereum, you would have got them copied over to Pulsechain. So you should definitely add Pulsechain network to your wallets and see if you've got some airdrops there, copies, because it could be a very nice surprise on some of those assets. And they still continue to be price discovery, and it's going to continue in the years ahead, price discovery for those assets. So definitely a good time to add Pulsechain and get in there. We got Active Decimated in the house there. Hello, all my fellow crypto loonbirds. Absolutely, crypto is a bit loony, but we love it. So let's get into it, folks. Without further ado, let's find a good setup here. And let's go for gold. Bam. All right, we're going to come back to Hex alerts later on. But stock market, let's see how we got on for, what was it, Wednesday, US time. We had a couple of green days in a row, if you guys remember. Well, we had a bit of a pullback today. Dow Jones down 1% at 422 points to 38,461. We've got the S&P 500 down almost 1% as well, 49 points to 5,160. And the NASDAQ down 84 hundredths of a percent, 136 points to 16,170. So that's got all the tech companies in it. So everything's pulled back there on the stock market. Why has that happened? while US stocks tumbled to a lower close on Wednesday after hotter than expected inflation data threw cold water on hopes that the Federal Reserve would begin cutting interest rates as early as June. As you guys know, we had been targeting June for a long time. We had a lot of confidence. That's starting to weaken now. So we're looking at July, really, I think is going to be the call at the moment. All three major US stock indices veered sharply lower at the opening bell after the Labor Department's CPI, Consumer Price Index, remember it's one of the two main inflation numbers that people look at, report landed north of consensus, a reminder that inflation's road back down to the Fed's 2% target will remain a long and meandering one. The stickiness of inflation caused data caused a sell first, ask questions later mentality, and said Ryan Detrick, the chief marketing strategist at Carson's Group in Omaha. And that disappointment caused a pushback not only the potential timing of the first rate cut, but how many we're going to get as well. So the timing and how many minutes from the Fed's March meeting reflected concerns that inflation progress towards the target might have stalled. That's not a good sign. And restrictive monetary policy may have to be maintained for longer than anticipated, which always means that we're going to have a worse outcome than anticipated as well. It's always delayed, right? Always delayed. Just a week ago, the Fed Chair Jerome Powell hinted that 3 cuts would be this year. Dietrich added, one has to wonder if his opinion has changed after the stubborn data we continue to see. Now, the other thing, of course, anything related to rates has been hard today, from real estate to housing to small caps, all got hit by the interest rate inflation news, at least the inflation side of that news. And, of course, financial markets have now priced in a dwindling 16% likelihood of a 25 basis point cut in June, down from 56%. So that's a dramatic move down. So it definitely moves us into July. So we're going to look at those numbers in a minute. Now, coming up for Thursday, so when we report tomorrow on the stock market, we're going to have Thursday, we're going to have the producers price report. So it's kind of at the wholesale level for a clearer picture of March inflation. So that's going to be a focus for that. Also, there's the kickoff, unofficial kickoff for the first quarter earnings season. So that's going to be huge for the stock market. It's going to be very telling. We're going to continue this rally in the stock market. We will see. And the other thing, of course, is it's very important for crypto. So that's why we're looking at this, because they will be related, that wealth transfer, the sentiment, all that sort of stuff. All right, so let's have a quick look at the commodities as well before we move on to the Fed numbers. We've got West Texas oil pretty flat at $86. Brent oil at $90.52. They're pretty much flat. We've got gold up up $2.40, about 1/10%, 2,350. So gold's not doing too bad. Silver, of course, at $27.94 is down 11 cents. Down, what's about 0.4%. And silver has actually done pretty well, isn't it? And of course, if we do get an interest rate pivot and a US dollar devaluation, silver is going to rocket. That is the anticipation. Maybe even get to $100 or more. We will see, though. That's something for the future. Let's have a quick look at the economic calendar. Actually, let's have a look at where we're going, the tools. Let's go to the Fed rate monitor here. And let's have a look here. So we've got 2 weeks, 6 days, and 17 hours to go until the next Fed meeting on May the 1st at 2 p.m. Eastern. Let's have a look at the interest rates. Obviously, May is expecting a no change. June interest rates, we're expecting no change now, 81%. Man, it's pretty much slammed. So, June's off the table. We were hoping for June. June did look good for quite a while. That is now off the table. We got 54% still saying July is a 5.5%. So we're going to need some good data before we get up to these points so that we can actually get that pivot sooner or later. So 51% is not the majority. And let's have a look at September. September, we've finally got the pivot. So we're going to get pushed all the way back to September. I guess that producers price index data is going to be very important, and any other inflation data we get out before then. So let's see what happens. Definitely getting pushed further back in the year there, maybe up to 2 months. We shall see. So that is pretty much the stock market and the Fed markets are not so great there, but crypto keeps delivering, and crypto is still early on its bull market. So we're sitting at $70,559 at the moment, up 1.79%. We've got Bitcoin dominance continues to dominate. 51.85% is the dominance there. Ethereum there is up 0.73% at 3,540. I guess one could say 74 basis points, I guess, something like that. But there we go. And, of course, we've got everything's sort of mixed across the board, as you can see. So light pink is basically less than 5% move. The light green is less than 5% move there on the up and down side. Uniswap there getting smashed today. Why Uniswap? We're going to talk about that in a minute. It is $9.97, down 11%. And of course, we're going to talk about that. Just looking at anything else. So the meme coins, though, they're still looking kind of greenish. XRP a little bit green there. So that's a little bit of green stuff there. Let's move on into the Bitcoin and have a look at the chart there. Still looking strong, looking so good. And of course, we are getting closer and closer to the Bitcoin halving. It is coming up thick and fast. So 9 days away. Yep, 9 days away. We're in a brand new day. So yesterday's results, this candle here, this green candle, we had a low of 67,463, a high of 71,159, and we're at the top of that range starting the new day, which we're only about 12 minutes into. So it's kind of cool. Look at that moving average on the 50-day moving average, moving up like a boss. 64,763 is now the 50-day moving average. Look at that. And of course, 49,340 is the 200 moving average, almost up to $50,000 on the 200-day moving average for Bitcoin. Isn't that cool? And 9 days to go to that Bitcoin halving. Woohoo! Remember, Bitcoin halving, the blocks per day go from 900 to 450. And of course, that's going to be a lot less inflation there on the miners and dumpability as well. And I guess the price can adjust for that. It already has obviously moved up, front running that. And of course, we know these Bitcoin ETFs are buying more and more. And of course, who are they buying them off? We covered that the other day, buying them off retail and business holdings generally, and in the future probably government ones as well. So that's kind of that reallocation to the Bitcoin ETFs. That makes that centralized ownership more control, like BlackRock getting their hands on more and more Bitcoin. So you get paid for losing control. Apparently, that's the way it works. But it's hard to stop that sort of movement. That is kind of the play there on Bitcoin. The big news, of course, today is the Uniswap. SEC serves a Wells notice to Uniswap. So basically, a Wells notice is basically saying, hey, here's some of the things we're going to be charging. We're going to look to charge you soon. You write back to us and tell us why we shouldn't. So it's kind of a pretty threatening letter when you get one of these. Of course, so DeFi exchange Uniswap has received a warning of an impending enforcement action engaged by the US SEC. On April the 10th, Uniswap disclosed a Wells notice issued by the SEC Enforcement Division. The notice is part of a broader crackdown on crypto by securities watchdog, as Chair Gary Gensler insists that most digital assets issued on blockchains fall under existing financial laws. I think there's a lot to prove in that case. Obviously, Richard Hart is tackling that as well. Gensler has often referred to crypto as the Wild West and has sought to rein the industry through enforcement action. While he can say what he wants about that, he will have to fight it in the law and the courts to prove his position, right? So easy to say Wild West and things like that. We'll still have to prove the legal sides of things versus the SEC's regulated purview. Uniswap founder reacts. Uniswap founder and CEO Hayden Adams wrote on X that he was annoyed and disappointed, but ready to fight the SEC, protects his company. Now, you guys know Uniswap was quick to ban Hex on Uniswap, wasn't they? Very quick to do that. Oh, boo-hoo-hoo. Where was there? And of course, you got to remember Richard Hart and the Hex community made Uniswap. It made it what it is today. And look how quickly they turned and backstab. But now they've got the SEC after them. Boo-hoo-hoo. Now, that said, we all need to fight together against the SEC from a crypto point of view, crypto community. So, game on. And hopefully they write amicus brief there for Richard Hart's case as well. And they start sharing the love there with the lawyers. So that's kind of the general move forward. Hayden said today Uniswap Labs received a Wells notice from the SEC. I'm not surprised, just annoyed and disappointed and ready to fight. I'm confident that products we offer are legal and that our work is on the right side of history, but it's been clear for a while than that. Now, obviously, you guys know that Richard Hart's been, and versus SEC's been trending on X social media and on crypto news. Obviously, his fight back is with the A-team. He's got the real A-team for that. So pretty big deal. So that is kind of the play at the moment. So obviously, the Uniswap price moved down 11% today on that news. Ethereum at the moment is at $3,531. That's holding up pretty well above the 50 moving average as well. 50 moving average at 3,375. Yesterday's close was kind of a bullish little doji hammer there from looks at it. I mean, Brendan can add to that. But we had a low of $3,411, a high of $3,562. We're currently at the top end of that at 3,533, and we're well above that 50-day moving average of 3,375. 200-day moving average is at 2,683, so a long way to 3,000, but onwards and upwards. And as you guys know, I mean, we still haven't hit the previous bull market all-time high, unlike Bitcoin. 4,900 is the target. So we'll see how we go with that. Bitcoin halving obviously in front of us. So Bitcoin halving obviously in front of us in 9 days. But of course, after that is the Ethereum ETF approval deadline, which is on the 23rd of May. And of course, we have a very low chance of that. So it's probably 25% or less is our chance of success there, unlike the Bitcoin ETF at 90%. So just remember that. Don't get too excited. And of course, the interest rate pivot, I've got here the 11th of June, but that's likely to get pushed back into July or even, was it September? I think it was. So we're going to adjust that on the timeline there. That is pretty much it for the crypto markets. We're going to get the Pulsechain. We're going to cover day 334. Before we do that, let's get back in the chat and say hello to a few other people. Have we got anyone else here? Brennan is excited. Woohoo! Okay, Brennan. Sandy Beach is going to be traveling in June, doing her music gig. She's going to be performing in a number of stages. How many venues? About 20 venues. Sandy Beach is going to be performing. Many of you don't know, Sandy Beach is a pretty well-known country singer. So we're looking forward to her. She's going to be singing with Dolly Parton and a few other people. So cheers to you, Sandy. We look forward to the you climbing the ranks and the billboards and all that good stuff. So big shout out to Sandy there. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right, there. Nice one, Sandy. Hope you enjoy your holiday. Nevertheless, music chair would be a bit busy for Sandy, so I think we'll just go for the holiday. Just go for the holiday there. Yeah, Sandy is like that. I had to say it was only a joke, just so people wouldn't believe me. That's the way it goes. All right, let's get back into it. Let's go on a serious note. Let's move forward. Day 334. PLS there at quadruple 947, so 5% below sacrifice price. It's about 3 percentage points lower than yesterday. Pulsechain down 1.7%, still accumulation zone. And of course, Pulsex there, quadruple 367. That is obviously 36.7% of the mean sacrifice price there. A long way to go for glory there. And once again, if you're patient, you'll get there, just like we did the couple of weeks ago when we got back to the mean sacrifice price for Pulsex. If you're patient, you can make some mad gains. You don't have to take on too much risk. That's kind of the idea there. Obviously not financial advice, but playing probability. Down 4.16% today. The buy and burn doesn't care about the price except for trading volume. And, price kind of matters a little bit, but trading volume here, 793.5 billion has been bought up and burned. We're getting closer to 800 billion, and we're at 3.9% of the public supply is gone. It's gone. Goodbye, birdie. Get out of here, you gone burger. We've got the incentive token at the moment is at $4.75, down 4%. The ratio is still looking strong, though, 50,273, that 50,000 mark, kind of a good psychological level, and got that number bias there. The total emissions of incentive token from the V1 Pulsex farm is just under 29 million. So that's kind of cool. And PHEX there is at 93 hundredths of a penny, showing a bit of weakness there, down 4%, but pretty much in line with all the others there, as you can see, around the negative 4% mark. And of course, EHEX there at 18 hundredths of a penny. Combined price EHEX and PX 1.12 cents. And you guys know once we do get back to 3 cents, it's off to the races. It's going to be game on. All right, so that is the results for day 334. Let's have a look at the charts. You can see the RSI pretty much down at 35. So not too much there. Now, I did say that I was going to look at the support levels a bit. We're pretty much still in that crucial support level. We really don't want to break down from here. Where you can see here, we're still in that support level here. So it's kind of a really important level here around just above this quadruple 9,000. Now, often we can obviously come back down to this dip. Looks like what we're doing that at the moment. So maybe quadruple 9,000 is the support level there for Pulsechain. And the RSI is on, the oversold territory. So if we do drift, maybe just that drift is there before we kind of maybe consolidate, rebound. We got Pulsex at the moment is pretty similar story. Not too much to say about that. 37 on the RSI as well. Pretty critical point there at 37. And like I say, probably got support at 3,500 around that mark there if we do drift down a little bit there. Incentive token, let's look at the ratio. This has been a lot of fun looking at incentive token. Obviously, some people have got still very big price targets on the back of incentive token, especially with the first year coming up, and we're expecting an emission reduction on the farms. And of course, here we're at 50,271 at the moment and holding up pretty well there in that zone there for incentive token. PX, likewise, let's have a look here. Yeah, likewise, what do you got, 9,300 here. Probably drift down potentially to 9,100, something like that. So just a little bit lower. The RSI is once again in the oversold territory, so we're just in that sort of drifting, but drifting slightly lower to that support level at pretty much 9,000, 9,100, let's say. Good accumulation zone, as you guys can see in the chart, speaks for itself, right? Accumulation zone. So what do? Accumulate. That's what you do, and wait for the pump, right? Wait for the pump. And once it does get over that 3 cents in the future, it's going to be game on, right? Game on. That's the play. All right. Let's have a look here. Pretty much EHEX here. Pretty similar story, even more dramatic. Into the zone here, 1/1800 of a penny. Obviously at what level here? 007. We've got BankX up here, right? So BankX is in there. I might actually add that to the zone there. Let's put it on the zone. Should we get a little diagram here while I'm here? Might as well do it. What's the right picture though? Rectangle. Let's do a rectangle. Let's do here. So we're going to do rectangle here. Down the 7th. That is kind of the BankX zone there. Should we put a little text box? Do you guys like text boxes? We're going to go to BankX. And bam. That's sitting on the V3. There we are, BankX. Should we change the color? Yeah, let's do it. Let's make it a bright color there. It's a little bit hard to see, isn't it? Let's make it yellow. No. Would it be yellow? We'll make this yellow too. What about that? Make that yellow. Who says we can't have fun with the yellow? There we go. That looks pretty good. And should we center that a little bit there? All right. I think that's enough playing around. But that is kind of the BankX zone there. So we've got a lot of upside there. To 7/10 of a penny. How about that? Let's do it. Let's bump the banks. All right. That's pretty much it on EHEX. Let's go to the combined price of EHEX and PX on InvestX.io. And we're currently sitting at 1.11 cents here at the moment at the bottom of the range. And like I say, once we get up to, where are we going here? Let me have a look here. I've got the 1 hour. Sorry, I meant to go to the daily chart here on InvestX. So this is combining EHEX and PX, this chart. Let me just let it update. It doesn't get stuck. Yeah, so this is the line here. Once we break this, it's going to be game on here, and we're still at the accumulation zone at the bottom of the range. That's kind of where we are. All right. Now, unfortunately, I don't normally talk about too many influencer stuff here today, but unfortunately, a well-known influencer in the crypto space, and I believe in Pulsechain as well. Was it Crypto Nerd Girl? Yeah, Nerd Girl, I think it was. She got apparently her all hex stakes got compromised and early in staked. So we do feel out for her, and I know a lot of community members out there, particularly Randy Alasky and others, I think, reaching out and showing some support and may help her, redeem her position potentially. So it's pretty sad when people do get compromised. Sometimes it can just be some simple errors there. So I'm not exactly sure the full background, but sympathies go out there for anybody that gets their wallets compromised, regardless of security positions that they may hold or whatever. All right, so that's it on that one. Let's jump over to the gas prices, and we got 357,000 beats is where we're at the moment. So about what's that? Almost 75% more than normal. 1 cent for a Pulsex swap, 7/100th of a penny for a Pulsecoin transfer, 2/10 of a penny for a PRC20 transfer. Gwei on Ethereum at the moment is super low, 13 Gwei on Ethereum, but Pulsechain is still super cheap, 1,359 times cheaper than Ethereum, even at 13 Gwei. And of course, 1 cent for Pulsex swap, up to $16 there for a swap on Ethereum at the moment. So some crazy stuff there as well. Don't you love Pulsechain? Even when Ethereum is super cheap, Pulsechain is so much cheaper, generally speaking, unless of course we get a lot of activity like we did yesterday. Had quite a bit of boom time. We were at 49,151 active validators. We got 1.57 trillion staked to the market. Now, this is a little bit lower than yesterday. We've been sitting at 1.58 trillion every day for quite a while now, a week or so at least, and maybe 2 weeks. So we are just dropped a little bit there on the validators. And finally, the bridge to look at our health check, $125.5 million pretty much. That is where we are. Not a lot of change happening there at the moment, just looking through some of these numbers. We are waiting for Coast to come back online. That's still a couple of weeks away for those asking. But otherwise, everything's pretty stable. That's been pretty stable, that amount of money there on the bridge. That's day 334. Obviously, 365 days is a year, so we're getting closer to that. So bring it on. This year anniversary of Pulsechain. All right, so looking good there. Let's have a look at a few of the derivatives. Let's have a look here on, we're going to look by percentage here on ICOSA on Ethereum. We're up 9.5%. ICOSA on Pulsechain up 4.4%. So nice, good day for ICOSA out there. And on Hedron for Pulsechain up 1.1%, but Hedron on Ethereum down 3% there. Those are the derivatives there. I haven't got Maximus. I've got to add them in. So we'll do that, get around to it one day. One day soon. It's going to be soon. It's going to be soon. All right, so let's get to the influencer coins. We covered this in depth yesterday, the influencer coins. Let's see what's pumping at the moment. We'll do it by percentages. We've got Hexfire is up 85%. That 0001573. We've got Nope Token from Randy Alasky doing extremely well. Nope Token up 42.6%, sitting at 75/100th of a penny. So doing pretty well there. Got even higher overnight. Paul Pleb there from Hexy Bastard is this is not part of that consortium of Randy Alasky. So maybe we'll reach Access Live. That's sitting at 12.28%, up at $63,000. We will talk about Access Live because I just want to make a little funny parallel. The price actually, this is on the 15-minute chart. So let's go to the hourly chart here. This is the hourly chart, and look at the price on Access Live. It got up to $98,126, which is well above the Bitcoin price. Now, you guys know that 99% or something is sitting in the main wallet. So there's actually very little amount of access floating around. So interesting little technique there. And that's 4.23 access is actually in the market. But the prices were pretty spectacular there on the old access token. So they've been playing around with some of those tokenomics ideas. The other one, of course, that's affected by that is SolidX, has the same kind of approach with the amount of supply actually in the market versus total supply. Now, Paul Pleb there up 28% as well from Hexy Busters. And, of course, 9-inch was pumping overnight as well. So not only was the SolidX index pumping for Hexy Fire, Randy Alasky, and Access Alive, but also the 9-inch exchange there with Hexy Buster was also pumping overnight, including the BBC token, which absolutely did a huge pump. So if you're doing farming on 9mm, your incentive returns went through the roof last night. So for those that were pretty dire there over there, when incentive token got down to like 2 cents, it has recovered quite a bit there. So those are the stars today. Let's jump over to the, we're going to jump to the projects. I'm just going to fill all this out, but we do have the BBC token in there, so we're going to talk about that. BBC got pumped. Yes, it did. Pump it up. I got 22 cents here on the old BBC token. Oh, look at that, looking so strong. Yeah, it bounced all the way off pretty much 4.3 cents, even been as low as 2.9 cents. So it's now 22 cents. So your farming rewards have gone up dramatically. Pretty cool. Let's see what else we got going. The stable coins, obviously, that was a big narrative. We have seen a bit of a rebound in PDI, USDC. They're all up about 10 to 12%. So making a little bit of a move back higher, just slowly creeping up there again. So don't miss out too much on that. And that is pretty much it for the time being. Let's have a look at PZN. Obviously, PZN there has been doing quite a bit of rally as well. Let's see how that's going at the moment as well. So it's cooled off a little bit there. Back with 8 zeros, 5,000. Was up at 7 zeros, 1,289. So down off those highs, but obviously X1 coming, DXN doing very well. So there's lots of cool stuff happening in that space and anticipated to happen in the next couple of months. So kind of cool. That is where we are there. So that's going to leave us into the main drive. We're going to look at all the rest of the tokens pumping, including, of course, a couple of new tokens as well as Soymmi, your friend Soymmi. So before we do that, though, let's catch up with a few more people that have jumped in the house. Who is here? I think we've got, let's go scroll right back up here. We got Brennan says, can't wait to see that concert. Yeah, I think I've started a bad rumor, although I did say that it wasn't true. So there we go. What else? We've got Brian in the house there. What's up, folks? Good to see you, Brian. Brian's our community leader. Amazing. Always good to see him. Bob Wells as well. Hello, everybody. Good to see you, Bob. Who else has jumped in here? We've got, let me jump through down here. A couple more comments. We've got Spike in the house there. Hey, Spike, always good to see you. What's up, peeps? Hey, Spike. And Sandy Beach says, I think I'm farming it, says Sandy Beach on the old BBC token. Yeah, well, it's going to be worth a lot more money now. You might as well go back and check it. Kind of cool. All right, let's get back into it. We're going to be looking at the title of the video, The Return of Soymmi token there. So there was, that had been a kind of abandoned a little bit in favor of the Solid X influence there. Let's go to, this is all tokens now that have been pumping. So we're going to go to some of this. So a chitty in here, Chitin, is it Chitin? That has launched on Pulsechain, so that's brand new. And I know that Sandy Beach posted this in Discord, so thanks Sandy for that. That was nice and early. And let's have a look at this chart. It's got some 963k liquidity. It's got 1.1 million market cap at the moment. So let's have a look at how that's performing here on the 1 hour chart. So only 3 hours old. The first hour did get up to 5,100. It's currently at 1281. So it will be volatile, but it is brand new. They do have a Twitter following as well. This is not, this is just another copy, isn't it? Meme coin. This meme coin that's not affiliated with the official Chitian, but it's on Pulsechain now, so game on. So that is ticking away. They actually have a decent amount of followers, actually a decent amount of views, I should say, 3,400 views to start off the game there. So that's pretty good, isn't it? It looks like Tangang's involved with it. Little Tangang retweets. So there we go. The Tangang gang is in the house. So that brings us to the title of the video, The Return of Soymmi, which is, play on influencer Soymmi there in Australia. And, of course, that had a big pump. So, it pretty much died off. The argument that I heard was that the video from Soymmi saying, you gave me a lot of supply and I might dump down on it because I don't really like it that much. So something like that. I'm just paraphrasing. You guys can let me know. But that has sort of just moved sideways. And of course, they launched Block X, didn't they? Which has done spectacular. And but now your friends, your Soymmi, the token, I should say, is a pump today. Look at that thing pump, and it went from a low of 8.7 cents up to $2.54. Is that insane? 8 cents up to $2.54, and now is currently at 75 cents. So the return of Soymmi is in the house there. We'll see where it goes from here. But at the moment, it's still 75 cents, which is pretty badass from 8.5 or whatever I said it was. 8.7 cents was the starting point. So that's ticking away there. All right, be careful out there, folks. Be careful. That's all I'm going to say. But those have pumped pretty hard there. Now, Fugazi is staying up as well. That's up 167% at 2.5 cents. We've got the BBC token, as I said, the incentive token for 9mm DEX. You can see 9-inch DEX is number 2 DEX at the moment in terms of volume on Pulsechain, and that is currently up 130% or so. So pretty nice there. What else there? Hexify still holding up there as well at number 8 with up 128%. This meme coin DWB, which I don't really like saying the name because we're a family channel, that is up 80% today. So that's holding up pretty well there. Crow is up 60%, not too bad. Peer. This looks like a new one, doesn't it? 51%. I haven't really been following this P. It's an HOA one, so from the looks of it. And that has managed to recover. So it hit the bottom. 9 zeros, 1,500. Now up at 9 zeros, 3,000. So actually she's ticking away pretty nicely. So quickly look at the website and see what's happening there. It's a Hex Orange address one as well. So these guys, launching. How many can you launch? How many tokens can you launch? Apparently a lot. Apparently you can launch a lot there from Hex Orange address. So that's pretty much it. But there, I guess their general approach is viral marketing for Pulsechain adoption. So you can't argue too much with that. Just be careful with your own money. I mean, the causes seems to be fair. What else we got going? Then obviously 9-inch is up pretty well. Quad 00016, 50%. It's still got quite a bit of way to go though, doesn't it? To get back to glory, but still that is all up on 9-inch. So PVC, 9-inch both up. We got Mike Monsters here up 41%. So we've got quite a few things. Yesterday we covered this 1 unit buyers coin, so 1 UBC. That launched, was it yesterday, I think, and that is still up 40%. But what a ride that is. This is the hourly chart, and this, look at it, got really high, up to $21.19, all the way back down to what, $4.58. Now up at $8.65 there, recovered back to $10 before dipping. So you got lots of coins out there doing some fun things. Let's see. Nope token, of course, we've covered that. Doing well from Randy Alaski. Die Hard, where you earn P-Die, don't you? With this, when you hold Die Hard, you earn P-Die. a bit like that other one, Beef Token the other day that was supposed to airdrop, but we never got the airdrop. Some people did, but we didn't get the airdrop. And so, it's just the way it goes when they don't deliver on stuff like that. But you PDI here on Diehard, that's up 36%. Not too bad there. Peppy Coin, the meme, which has probably been a bit neglected, is up 20% today. And that's pretty much it from there, from the looks of it, which are kind of up in the double digits. PDGC, the big DAO token, which has done in fact, one of the best charts up till now, is up 50%. So that's still doing pretty well also in the double digits. So those are all kind of double digits. With some of the ones under double digit pumps. You got Mintra up there at 7.5%, etc. UPX doing well, up 6.7%. So yeah, there we go. Teddy Bear and everything else. We've got a few little others, quite a few with percentage gains. What's total volume on Pulsechain? 78 million. That's pretty good. So hats off to Randy Alaski, Access Live, and of course Crispy Man there with the awesome volume that they've added to the chain, as well as looks like Hexy Bastard in the 9-inch sticks, also adding a ton of volume. We're back up at 78 million. Isn't that cool? Over 500,000 transactions as well. So that's good news. And where does that push us on the chain here? Well, you guys know that quite a few of the chains do have a lot of wash chaining and fake tokens. So let's have a look where we are. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Number 9 there at the moment on the list. And of course, the vast majority of our stuff's real. Now, quite a bit might be speculative, but hey, speculative stuff is crypto, right? There's a lot of speculative assets in crypto, and we're going through quite a bit of that at the moment. Let's see. Sandy Beach, she forgot about a BBC. Well, it's just turned into some probably decent amount of money now at 22 cents on a BBC token. Wookie has Wookie gone punk. Nice one there. Yeah, Wookie's gone into the runes. So picked up a nice little runes punk there today. Well done to you. And of course, we're enjoying it over on the runes. Now, if you guys are not familiar with the runes, Bitcoin is about to have an explosive event happening at the Bitcoin halving on the 20th of April in 9 days' time. On top of Bitcoin's halving, there's going to be Runes Protocol, which is going to be a game changer, and it's going to open up everything that we've got on Ethereum in the sense of speculation on PRC20s and NFTs. It's going to be opening up with ordinals and inscriptions on a brand new streamlined network Runes Protocol. And of course, many people are front running that, and it's going to be explosive. So if you're looking for some big opportunity, get yourself around that, because it's going to be a great place to be. Now, we're talking about that in our strategy club, so you can definitely join up to that in the video description if you want to find out a lot more. What's the hot at the moment, and the links in the video description for that. $30 a month, but some great value, great opportunities there as well when we discuss and look at intel and strategies for that. So definitely something to join up to. Now, if you want to just join our general Discord, Pulsechain and Hex, the link's in the video description for that too, and it's $5 a month, 16 cents a day. Pretty good value for incredible information and an amazing community. We have pretty much witnessed every great event on Pulsechain, and it's amazing how many we've seen. It's unbelievable, and the opportunities to pick up on so many flash crashes has been awesome too. So definitely a lot of opportunity there. All right, very cool. All right, we're going to wrap up, are we? 37 minutes. What a show it has been today. Before we do that, though, let's get the Hex and have a look at the payouts today. Now, I'm here on Hex Alerts because the normal Hex data stats side is down. So we're going to look at Hex Alerts here for the time being. There are lots of other information sites around, so I might pick out one of those. But here we are, Hex Alerts. Yesterday, the payout per T-share was 7.26, which is 7 cents there. So pretty good on the old Pulsechain. Let's have a look to see whether we've got Hex Alerts out for today. We have 36 minutes ago. The payout today on Pulsechain was 6.89 Hex. So this does not include the Ethereum side, but 6.89 Hex payout for the Pulsechain side, which is about 6 cents today. There we go. How about that? That is pretty much it. All right. So that is pretty much it on the Hex payouts. Hex.com, links in the video description. Check that out. Buy Hex and start mining more Hex today. That's pretty much how it works. Let's see who else has jumped in here. Sandy Beach says, is that not related to Runestone or something like that? Yeah, so a Runes Punk is like a match between Runes, the protocol, and punks that you have on CryptoPunks, the #1 NFT collection in the world, which is worth what, $1.4 billion. Yeah, it's a combination of that, and let's see where it goes. 9 days to go. StakeX says Superman needs a victory lap, yelling, I told you so. That man has done more for the community than anyone I know. We love you, man. I appreciate that, StakeX. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, so we wrap up here. 40 minutes, I think so. Now, the shows have been very variable. I am looking to change the format in the future, but I do, we do pretty much cover all the macro stuff here and the stuff that counts. You want to cover the stuff that counts. But if you want to get into the detail, the strategies and the projects, you really should join up to Strategy Club. Links in the video description, or just jump into if you want to just focus on Pulsechain as well. Strategy Club is multi-chain, so Ethereum, BNB, Pulsechain, other chains like that, Solana, things like that. So that's the place to be. Sandy Beck says, thank you, Hex Token, and hope you enjoy your music tour there, Sandy. I'm just kidding. I'm getting in trouble with Sandy. We got Take Care All, says Lights Beneath. You do. And Superman is a humble Shogun warrior. Yes, I'm not going to commit some was it Sampuka, whatever it is. Can I commit Sampuka? All right. All right, let's play out the Magic Upright on the way out. You guys know how we roll. We're just time in the market. We're patient. Waiting for the Magic Upright, so we're going to play that out as well because, some fine words there. All right, don't forget to share Pulsechain around, tell your friends, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you next time. Subscribe, like, and share, hit the bell, and I'll see you again on tomorrow's show. Bye for now.
In theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a magic carpet ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a magic carpet ride? And it's just hilarious to me.
It's fun to watch Hex pumping up the charts. It's left behind all kinds of broken hearts who didn't buy the dip, who didn't DCA. And now that we're on a rip, it's hard to look away. Now I'm not the one to hand out free advice, but as for me, I wouldn't dare think twice about buying a bag, since we're still somewhat down. This rocket ship's about to break the speed of sound. You know these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. I tip my hat to everyone who minds. You're getting paid out while you're killing time. It makes room for a nice vacation to the beach, perhaps a celebration now that you are rich. Ha ha! Ignore the haters who all called you crazy. You studied hard while they were being lazy. Now you're packing bags, about to take a ride up on that rocket ship, mooned up and starry-eyed. I feel these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. Now that we're summer bound and the sun is bright, I see that it's not round but rather has 6 sides. It's a work of art that's written into code, designed by Richard Hart to make our bags explode. You know these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. Yeah, we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco.